Hi, my name is Jessica, and I am a speech language pathologist. And I am here today to teach you one of the best speech therapy strategies for toddlers. It is so simple to do. You can do it anytime, any place, anywhere. You ready? Let's go. I want you to tell me if one of these scenarios sounds familiar. Maybe you are concerned about your toddler's speech and language development, but you have been told they are too young for speech therapy and you need to wait and see. Or maybe your child already has been identified as having a speech or language delay, but you're in the process of waiting for insurance authorization, or you just don't have the money right now to pay for speech therapy. I totally get it. And that is why I am here to help you learn a strategy that is going to help you provide speech therapy type activities for your toddler, preschooler, or your late talker. However, before we get into that, I want to say if you are in a position where you can see a speech language pathologist in person, please do that. That is going to be way more helpful and beneficial for you and your child because they can help identify exactly what your child's strengths and weaknesses are and develop a individualized plan that's going to help you see the most progress. But while you're waiting to start with an in-person speech pathologist, let's talk about some speech therapy strategies that you can do at home with your toddler or preschooler. I want you to start by thinking about your day. So go back in your brain and think about your routine. Okay. For my family, we wake up at 6 o'clock. I get up and I make the coffee for me and my husband. We drink our coffee in the dark of our bed while we slowly wake up to start our brain, starts working for the day. And then once we get moving, I make breakfast for the kids and then we take them to school and then I go to the gym. All right. So these are our big routines, right? We do those big routines every day. But within those big routines, we also have smaller routines. So, for example, my son has cereal every morning. When I make his cereal, I get the bowl and I pour the cereal in, and then I pour the milk in, I get the spoon, and then he gets to eat his cereal for breakfast. Now, let's talk about a speech therapy strategy called self talk. Self talk is exactly what it sounds like. It is where you talk about what yourself is doing. So, if we go back to this example that I just gave you of the cereal, if I am using the strategy of self talk while I am making my son cereal, I could say, I am getting the bowl, I am getting a spoon, I am getting the cereal, I pour the cereal into the bowl, I pour the milk in the bowl. Now you get to eat the cereal. So, to provide some of the very best speech therapy activities at home for your toddler or your preschooler, all you have to do is combine those two things, self talk and routines. I want you to go back and think about the big routines, but also some of the small routines that happen in your day every day. I want you to visualize yourself using this strategy of self talk while you are going about your daily routines with your child. The reason why this is so beneficial and is such a good strategy, a good foundational speech therapy strategy, is because the repetitiveness of routines is what helps children learn new words. So when you pair those same words with the same actions or objects day after day, it gives your child many new opportunities to learn new words. So the more routines that you focus on, the more potential that your toddler or preschooler has to learn new words. And the best part is you're already doing these routines anyways, so you might as well do a little speech therapy while you're at it. Now, let's plan like a speech therapist. I want you to write down 3 routines. Now, let's plan like a speech therapist. I want you to write down 3 of your daily routines. Usually things like feeding or meal times, toileting routines, and cleaning routines are a really good place to start getting your creative juices flowing. I want you to make a plan to use the strategy of self-talk at home with your toddler. I want you to plan to use the strategy of self-talk during these routines with your toddler or preschooler. So that just means talking about what you are doing while you are doing it during a daily routine. So maybe during a toileting routine, you are just talking about what you are doing, or getting dressed routines. You're putting on the shirt. I am putting on your pants. I am putting on your socks. I am putting on your shoes. Saying the same things over and over again is perfect. That's exactly what we want to do. And that's what's going to help your toddler or preschooler to learn new words. And I want you to practice on using this self-talk during your routines every day for a week. You got that? You think you can do it? I know you can. If you want more guidance while you're waiting, I think you will really enjoy this speech therapy workbook for parents of late talkers. It has lots and lots of strategies, 22 strategies, actually. 22 strategies that are paired with activities. It is set up where you target one strategy per week, while also giving you suggestions of activities to do with your child. The strategy is one more word, and the weekly theme is peanut butter and jelly. Within that theme, you have songs, book recommendations, and toy recommendations that can help you practice these speech and language skills at home while you're waiting for speech therapy. The workbook is available on Amazon, and I will link it in the description. Make sure you subscribe so that you can get your next strategy to work on speech therapy at home next week.